G'day, welcome to the show. Soul Covers here. We are back. Make sure you like the video, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff to support the channel. No hiding from it. It has been an awful run. Just awful. And yeah, that's one of the things we try to offer here, not being awful, but being transparent. Full transparency here. We are 0 and 8 in our last 8 bets. That's right, 0 and 8. You see it in the gambling content space. You're not always going to get people who are fully transparent about both the wins and losses. So that is one thing we do try to offer here. One thing I can guarantee is that we are going to be cashing at least 2 bets. I can guarantee it. Guarantee. We've picked off some very, very bad opening totals in 2 of the future games. We will be covering all 4 games that are coming up over the next 2 days. So make sure you go follow me on Twitter to at least pick off these opening lines, even though we haven't been winning as of late. Looking back quickly, we had the Warriors -4.5 in Game 6. That line closes at 5.5, so sitting on a good ticket there, but it does not cash. Looking at Clippers in Denver, yep, my Clippers are out of the playoffs. We get absolutely smoked by the Nuggets. Hate to see that. So, yeah, first time the Clippers have been eliminated fully healthy in quite some time. So, let's get this off my screen. Let's look forward to Pacers and Cavaliers. Let's get the odds up on screen. Pacers and Cavaliers, where my numbers are so far off where this game is priced. So we see the spread open at Pacers. What did it open at? I think it was like 7.5 or 8.5. Open around 7.5, 8, 8.5. Now at a consensus 8. Darius Garland is questionable. My numbers have this at Cavs -5.5. That has a lot to do with the fact that the Pacers, their defense in 2025 has been top 10 level. We know that they're good offensively. We know that the Pacers playoff rotation is really strong net rating wise. Like they've got a +8 or +9 net rating with their playoff rotation. So I think they are a bit undervalued in this spot. For me, at 8, I would have to say it's Pacers or nothing. But have I played the Pacers yet? No, I haven't, because it has looked like the early market action is Cavs. Early market action is Cavs, so I'm watching this closely. I will be betting the Pacers if I do see some market action towards them. If I see some 7.5s pop up and we see some 8s out there. I also don't mind if this gets to like 9 once Darius Garland gets ruled in. I expect him to play. He's been off for a week. I don't mind coming back in on the Pacers at 9, trying to play into the high. Well, Darius Garland isn't that high usage, but he certainly messes with the Cavs rotation. I don't mind playing into that as well. Getting the Pacers at an even better number. So keep an eye on my Twitter. I may be taking the Pacers as the underdog. My numbers certainly like them. Look at the total where my numbers are just very, very far off. I've got this at 215. We see it open at 226.5. It is now up as high as 230 at Bookmaker. Mostly 229.5. That seems to be the consensus. It seems to be the resistance point. So for me, I want the under, but I want the market information, and I'm happy to pay the price. Happy to wait till this game gets towards tip-off, and if I see some late under action, I will follow suit and play the under. But as of right now, no bets on this game. Let's move on to the Game 7, which is Houston and Golden State. I didn't think we'd get this far in this series. I know a lot of you probably didn't either. Here we have this game opened at Rockets -3. It's now at 2.5. My numbers are at 2.5 as well. I don't have anything on this side here. Very tough. Like the Rockets seem to have figured a few things out over these last, more like games 4, 5, and 6. Even though they lost game 4, they were super competitive in that game. Like, it's just tough for Golden State going up, like, where the Rockets have the two biggest players in the series in Sengun and Steven Adams. Love seeing Steven Adams getting some publicity, getting some Steven Adams clips make the rounds on Twitter. Love to see that. Even though he's not Australian, he is a Kiwi, so props up to Steven Adams. He's having a great series. Looking at the total, we saw this open around 201, 202. It is now at 205. My numbers certainly agree there. They are very, very far off there. Now, do I want to chase 4.5 points of steam on a total going over in Game 7? No, absolutely not. If you're holding it over 201, congratulations. I am not. We know historically Game 7s are about 46% to the over. So if you're just blind betting Game 7s historically, you're going to be profitable. But now at 205.5, I've got nothing here on the total. Should be a great game to watch. Finally, a game where we do have a bet is the Knicks and Celtics. Knicks and Celtics. This spread opened at around 8.5. It is now consensus 8.5 with a bit of juiced 8.5 for the Celtics. My numbers just can't get there. I've got this at Celtics -6.5. So I can't play the Celtics in this spot. If I do see some late Knicks action, I'm not opposed to taking the Knicks, but it's just tough for the Knicks. Like they've built this team trying to beat Boston with the wing stop, but Boston just has better wings. They just do what the Knicks do, but better. And Boston, like they're just going to attack Brunson and Towns every single time. They're going to switch Brunson onto Jaylen Brown, onto Tatum, then they're just going to go put Brunson and Towns in a pick and roll. They're going to get Towns guarding in space, and it's just not going to end well for the Knicks. Where we do have action is we have got a 5-point middle. If you're following me on Twitter, I told you guys, told you guys 3 units down on 217.5. I then said I'm putting 5 units down on the under 217.5 with the view to come back in on the over, play some of it back, try open up that middle. And that's what we've done here. We've played 5 units down on 217.5 under. Now we've played 2 units back up on the over 212.5. So got a 5-point middle there. Love that. 3 units down on the under. That's the direction that we're hoping for. If we get the middle, even better. But opening up this middle means we are going to cash a bet. That's what I love to see. Will we be up money? I don't know. We'll see how that plays out. But we will be cashing a bet, which is what we love to see. Last game on the card. Last game coming up is the Nuggets and Thunder, where looking at the side, this opened at 9, and now there is only 1 9 left, and that is at DraftKings. Go play that. Even though my numbers can't get to OKC -9, you just have to play the Thunder in this spot. The Nuggets, they've played 7 playoff games, 3 more playoff games than the Thunder, but then even going back into the regular season, like some of these last Nuggets games were like super high stakes games. Like they were in that race for the 3 through to 7 seed in the West. They really had to gut it out for the last week of the season, whereas the Thunder they got a cruise, they got to rest a few guys. Now Thunder coming off over a week's rest. Denver having a fly to OKC, 1 day's rest. You just have to take the Thunder here. If we look at teams in this spot where they are coming off at least 4 days of rest, playing in a game 1 versus a team that is on 1 day of rest, 29-14 against the spread, 67%. Take your opinion out of it. Screw your opinion. Bet OKC. Go get it at DraftKings now. If we slice this trend even further to include a travel spot, 9-4 against the spread, 69%. How about we slice this trend to make it 7 days of rest for which OKC have? 10 and 2 against the spread, 83%. So go grab OKC. Don't think twice about it. Looking at the total, we see this open at 226 and a half. My number's got it 220, and this is another middle that we're playing now. I've played 5 units down on the under 226 and a half. Played that not because I want to max bet it. I played it because I do have the intention on coming back in on the over. I have not bet the over as of yet. Current best line is 223. I just want to see if it gets any lower before I come back in on the over. So for you, like if you're tailing me and you played a max position on the under 226 and a half, it's really up to you. Like, what's your schedule like? For me, it's about 4 hours before I go to bed. Before I go to bed, I will be placing this over bet because I just don't want to risk any total movement by the time I wake up tomorrow. So we'll be coming back in on the over for probably 2 units, maybe 3 units. We'll figure that out. Yeah, for you, it's really just a personal schedule thing. When are you available to place a bet? If you do have a tight schedule, I'm more than happy just placing this over 223. Play it for 2 units, 3 units. That's up to you. So, and this is another instance where we're going to cash at least 1 bet. So, love to see that. Let's have a look at our best bets for the next few days or next 2 days. So we have this 5-point middle between the Knicks and the Celtics. Now at 213 is best available number. I still think this is an under game. Like, definitely, like, taking the under isn't a bad bet. We also like the under between the Nuggets and the Thunder. Taking the under now is also not a bad bet either. Again, I'm just playing the over to minimize my risk. Like, I don't love these bets to just max bet them straight. I do love them enough. I knew they were coming down. I knew that, but yeah, OKC -9, best available bet right now as of recording. Go and grab that. The trend's just a screaming Thunder. Don't overthink it. Maybe Rockets Warriors over, but that's chasing some steam there. Let's hope for some better days. We're sitting on some good tickets here. Hopefully one of these middles does cash. That'd put us in a great position. Until next time, let's get the books salty.